Good evening, and welcome to Deep Forest Hypnosis for Rest. Tonight, we will journey into the wilderness of an unspoiled forest. Your intuition will guide you to a babbling stream, and you'll go with the flow, connecting with the present moment. The stream will lead you to a mystical cave tucked beneath the splendor of a tall, gently flowing waterfall. And there, within the depths of the cave, you'll discover hidden treasures that will remind you of the hidden parts of yourself. The reflective pool in the heart of the cave, where you will unlock the wisdom you've been seeking. It is now time to tune into yourself, in this sacred time for you to unwind. You have made it through another day, and you are free to let go of all thoughts and feelings that do not serve your desire for peace and rest. Every night offers a time for the sweet indulgence of powering down and relishing the respite of sleep. Let this be your mental vacation. Snuggle beneath your covers and let your head fall heavily into the comforts of your pillows. You're in the safety of your room, where you may block out all the noise of the outside world and go into the deep, safe, comforting sanctuary of your mind. In this special place, you are free from judgment and expectations. You may simply be. You know more than anyone what you most need right now. Embrace the feeling of deep trust that you are doing exactly what your body and mind require. Your body will inform you of what feels right, and this may guide your thoughts. And if at any point sleep calls to you, feel free to tune out my voice and just drift away. Once you're all settled in, close your eyes. Notice how heavy your eyelids are when resting upon your tired eyes. They act like shutters on a window. They signal to your body that it's okay to relax and feel sleepy. You may place one palm on your heart and the other on your belly, and feel as they rise and fall with each breath. Simply surrender to my voice as I guide you towards a state of inner peace and relaxation. As we go deeper into this journey, you may find your thoughts become silent, and you simply flow through the experience, like a dripping watercolor brush that floats across a blank canvas. And every time you hear me utter the words, "simply flow," your relaxation doubles, and you feel your body floating softly through the landscape of your creative mind. Let's try it one time to see how it feels. Simply flow. In the dark stillness of your room, I invite you to go deeper into the pockets of peace that may be found in your body. You may explore the places of holding and tension and replace them with softness and release as we scan through the body. First, let's tune in to the breath. Your breath is the vehicle through your life, and it greatly impacts how your body responds to things beyond your control. Notice your breath and consciously take control. Let out a big sigh and make a sound if it helps you feel more relaxed. Allow your shoulders to lower away from your ears. And your ribs, diaphragm, and belly softly collapse as you release every last bit of air. And then you sip in oxygen through your nose. The air is as cleansing and purifying as a cool drink of water. Feel the air being warmed through your nostrils before traveling down your throat. Fill the deepest part of your abdomen with your breath and then your chest so they rise and expand. And with this fullness, now breathe out and simply flow. Open your mouth into a generous yawn to signal how ready you are for slumber. Your body receives the message and grows more sleepy. And you are perfectly nestled to experience deep rest. Breathe in and exhale again with an indulgent and deep sigh. You may release anything you like with this exhalation, anything that no longer serves you. And then take in a deep, healing breath until your belly rises, your chest expands, and your collarbones rise. And now breathe out and simply flow. Your body continues to breathe in and breathe out, all on its own, like the ebb and flow of a rippling stream. Your heart is open and warm, and you feel like an untied balloon as it sails against the starry canvas of a night sky. And you simply flow. Now visualize a tide of soothing blue light streaming down from the top of your head, over your body, down to the tips of your toes. The color blue calms and heals, as if pouring out of a rain shower head. The cool and tingling blue light trickles over your scalp and the tops of your ears. The light flows over your face and the hollows of your eyes. These become soft. And your eyebrows come down as the muscles release. Your jaw now relaxes under the healing blue light. Your lips part a bit. Your tongue becomes soft. Each part of your face and head becomes soft and relaxed. The light travels over your neck like a tingling massage. It cascades over your shoulders as these are pulled away from your ears. It feels as if someone is gently tugging your arms, encouraging you to let go. So often when stressed, you may find your shoulders creep up, but now they relax and drop down. The blue light flows over your arms and joints, and they soften as if they had been soothed by a cool summer breeze. The light covers your torso, and you observe your breath undulating like the blue light. And like a row of smooth stones that line the channel of a stream, each vertebrae delicately settles into your bed, one by one, in perfect alignment. The light cascades over your pelvis. When it meets your hips, they slightly fall away to the side and release tension. And your knees become like softened candle wax. The same release finds your calves and ankles. The soothing blue light travels over the tops of your feet like a gentle massage. The soles of your feet release, and your toes feel as if they're floating in the stream of light. Every part of your body is soft and mellow. You feel weightless and free of resistance, and you simply flow. You are safe and relaxed in this blue cocoon of light that opens you to the purest and most imaginative possibilities. You observe yourself as if on the outside looking in, and you see how calm you look beneath this sparkling blue halo. In this ultimate surrender, your body and mind have the freedom to experience the beauty of this journey into a deep forest. Feeling safe and serene, you can be receptive and imaginative. John Muir once wrote that the clearest way through the universe is through a forest wilderness. It is now time to take that journey. There is a forest where wanderers go to find respite from the modern world. It calls to them in times of need and reminds them to let go of the limitations of a stressed mind. Some seek this refuge to rediscover themselves, while others come for rest and to forget daily concerns for a while. Perhaps you've arrived yearning for a mixture of all these reasons. The forest is known for its deep healing powers that are revealed to all who seek them. On a warm summer day, you have set out like one of these fellow wanderers. You feel your feet crunch on a reddish-brown mulch path that weaves through an emerald-green meadow. Rolling hills are dappled with a rainbow-hued array of wild flowers that dance in the summer breeze. The honey glow of the sun warms the top of your scalp as you walk through the verdant landscape. The perfume of fresh grass and sweet floral notes waft over you as you make your way to the edge of the forest. You look behind you one last time and observe the green waves of hills surrounding a lakeside village in the valley. Pastel-hued cottages speckled the town like colored eggs on a bed of grass. With each step, you'll be taken away from the modern-day world and drawn into the enchanted wilderness. You travel light, with a small knapsack on your shoulders that covers your basic needs. You wear soft linen clothing that enables you to feel every change in the air on your skin. As you tune into the frequency of the forest, your intuition becomes your compass. You navigate your journey based on what feels right in your body, living in the moment, and you simply flow. The earth is soft and damp beneath your feet when you leave the sunny rolling hills for the cool shade of the forest. Your feet land on the forest's carpet of dark green and rusty orange pine needles that dapple the rich earth. You inhale deeply, paying attention to how clean the air feels as it comes into your lungs with a minty spruce aroma. The fertile soil smells sweet and musty. The smells and air have changed dramatically just a few steps beyond the tree line. You navigate carefully over metallic charcoal-hued rocks that shimmer in the rays of sunlight breaking through the evergreen canopy. Balsam firs and white pine trees fan out around you and gently graze your arms. The evergreen branches rustle in the breeze like jazz brushstrokes on a snare drum. The whispering melody is soothing and reassuring you that you are meant to continue on this path, and you simply flow. You walk through alternating warm rays of summer sunlight and the cool shade of the forest. The contrast is enjoyable and heightens your awareness of how it feels to be in this sacred place. A blue jay flies overhead, singing out one last song of the day before seeking the refuge of her nest. Through many eras, the blue jay has been seen as a symbol for carrying on with joy through life's greatest challenges. You inhale fresh, cool air. As your chest expands, a ray of sunlight pours through the branches of a deciduous tree. It lands like a spotlight on your heart and radiates warmth. You cannot resist the smile that forms on your lips as you feel rooted in this moment. You are grounded like the gnarly, thick roots of the trees that grow deep into the forest floor. You find stillness amid the trees and stand in the moment. Trees that have survived many storms are strong enough to stay rooted, yet remain flexible enough to bend with the wind. You inhale again and feel the duality in being both strong and flexible. A squirrel scurries up the weathered bark of a conifer tree, clutching an acorn it found scattered on the ground. The trees provide oxygen, shade, shelter, and safety. They inspire generosity as they reach towards the light while remaining rooted in the damp earth. You bring your attention towards large pine cones that scatter the forest floor. You pick one up and run your fingers over the smooth ridges and frosty green pine pitch that coats the pine cone like dried frosting. You bring the pine cone to your nose and are instantly soothed by its fragrance. And the longer you focus on the pine cones, the more you realize they are guiding you. They are illuminated by a magical halo and become like a strand of holiday lights that lead you in the right direction. Your intuition takes over, and you simply flow. You follow the pine cone path that weaves around boulders and lush moss. You walk past a voluminous cluster of flat brown mushrooms that look like a miniature village. For a moment, you imagine how nice it would be to just shrink and find refuge beneath their pillowy tops. And this vision awakens in you the curiosity of your inner child. You count each step that leads you down the pinecone path, feeling more relaxed as you go, going deeper and deeper into the woods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You hear the babbling stream before you come upon it. A white mist forms over the stream, and tiny rainbows appear in places where the mist meets the amber sunlight of early evening. Soft gurgles inspire a serene song when met with the gentle trickle sound of the stream flowing over smooth stones. The pinecone path has led you to a silvery blue stream that is lined with a bed of stones and a kaleidoscope of colors. The rocks appear in hues of slate blue, burgundy, lavender gray, and teal green. And the water has the purity of a stream formed by a melting glacier. You walk along the bank, and tiny droplets of water land on your exposed legs. The deeper the stream leads you into the forest, the deeper you go into yourself. You watch the clear ripples undulating over the colorful rocks that have been polished over time with gentle, consistent flow of water. And you feel the smooth transition from one moment to the next in an array of emotions that range from feeling better to feeling good. And you simply flow. A small lime green frog hops across stones in the stream. You pause to watch it, entranced by its speed and grace. You feel enlivened by the diversity of life in the forest. This reminder of all the unique lives that thrive in this healing place replaces the mundane loop of your common thoughts with a sense of magic. Like the bouncing frog, you hop from one cloud of thought to the next, not holding on to anything. And you appreciate how easy it is to let go and surrender. The stream leads you deeper and deeper into the woods. The air becomes cooler, and you hear the rush of a waterfall. The stream forms a pool of water beneath the tall and narrow waterfall, and lily pads float in the pool of water, honeyed by the setting sun. Some are used as rafts by frogs that leisurely rest upon them. The warmth of the golden hour makes the colors of the forest more vibrant and saturated. The waterfall cascades like liquid gold, flowing down the limestone walls of a hidden cave. Your intuition tells you to venture beneath the waterfall to explore the cave. Your feet balance on the wet pebbled beach that leads to the waterfall. You stand behind the rushing water, letting the mist coat your face and arms like a cool, cleansing salve. You put your hands through the cascading water, and the strong force of the waterfall massages your palms. The sensation makes you feel alive. A part of you longs to stay in this moment, basking in the sunlight that pours through the waterfall and cloaks you in warmth. Tiny refractions of light create rainbows in the mist, and you imagine what it would be like to float upon them like colorful rafts, feeling as carefree as the frogs floating on lily pads. The sun descends beyond the horizon and through the lush foliage. You look up at the raspberry pink and amethyst sky. The needles of the evergreens and wide leaves of the deciduous trees are dark silhouettes cast against the pops of the colorful sunset. You remove a flashlight from your bag. This sturdy beacon of light feels cool and heavy in your hand. It makes you feel confident and ready to explore. And you feel a deep knowing when your intuition propels you in the direction of the cave. The cave walls are dewy from the mist of the waterfall. You duck under the low arch of the rocky entrance, and the air changes, feeling cooler when you enter the cave. It smells metallic and clean at the same time, conjuring the smell of a sidewalk in the rain. You turn on your flashlight and shine it into the cavern, using your other hand to balance yourself. You feel the grainy texture of the limestone walls, the sedimentary rocks retaining history, layered through time and molded by elements beyond their control. And yet, here these rocks remain, resilient and strong. They remind you of your own endurance. Your body carries your history, the stories you've lived, and the moments in which you've thrived. Your feet land on the solid floor of the cave, and each step creates an echo. You listen, recalling the moment when you first experienced the reverberation of your own voice. It becomes as magical as the first time you noticed your voice could echo. You speak, saying whatever comes to mind, simply to enjoy the sound waves floating through the cave and reflecting your voice back to you. This is a cave of reflections, where people may come to tap deep into themselves and rediscover parts of themselves that they may have forgotten. You sense this, having already reconnected with the magic of your echoing voice. Affirmations come to you and you speak them, listening as your voice travels back and gives you the message. The voice you hear most often in this life is your own. And so you begin to speak these words with the candor of your inner child. I am strong. I am happy. I am free. Each time the voice returns to you, it reminds you of the power of your chosen words. You have the power to choose what you say to yourself. And the cave reminds you of this every time you loop to hear the echo of your positive affirmations. It reminds you of the importance of choosing kind and empowering words. You walk deeper into the cave and encounter an expanse of stalagmites that rise out of the floor. The pointed tops of the rock formations appear like the turrets of stone castles, teeming with mysticism and romance. You inhale deeply and envision the dreams you once had earlier in life. They enliven parts of your body that begin to tingle and connect you with the joy they once brought. You run your fingers along the ridges of the formations as you walk further back into the cave. You come to the heart of the cave and shine your flashlight on the sapphire pool of water. Stalactites hang overhead like tawny stone icicles. You walk towards the water and sit on the cool, damp cave floor. The flashlight shines like a movie projector on the vibrant jewel-toned surface of the pool. Perhaps there's been an answer you've been seeking. Perhaps you set out on this journey with the hope of reconnecting with a dream or deeper understanding of yourself. As you reflect on this, the light plays out in the scene on the surface of the mystical pool. You see versions of yourself as a child, and then in the present and in the future, all coming together in this moment of alignment and reflecting on the healing water. They celebrate the parts of you that stand the test of time. They represent all that you love most about being you. You watch these reflections of yourself as if watching a movie about your life. Time becomes fluid. You feel like you're in a dream and that anything is possible. And you simply flow. You rise from the cave floor, feeling serene and at peace with all you've learned and remembered. You duck beneath the icicles of stone and feel a calling to return to the forest. The shush of the waterfall becomes louder and guides you out of the cave and into the forest at night. The world outside the cave has changed. The arch of the cave is now a portal to a land of nocturnal enchantment. The air feels cool and clean beneath the darkness of night. You return to the moonlit forest, knowing you'll be guided along. A waxing gibbous moon has risen and illuminates the forest in shimmering silver light. The tiny rainbows you witnessed at sunset are replaced by moonbows. These glide over the white mist of the waterfall. The forest is cast in lunar brilliance, and your flashlight is no longer needed, so you turn it off and place it in your bag. A family of deer gathers around the stream and sip the flowing water. The white dots of a fawn glow in the moonlight. The forest is cast in a blue haze from the indigo sky. And you make out the stars through the evergreen branches, twinkling like diamonds, scattered across a dark blue velvet blanket. You hear the soft crunch of twigs and follow the sound to see a red fox hiding in the shadows of a balsam fir tree. His face comes into the moonlight, and his copper eyes gleam in your direction. Intuitively, you know he's been waiting for you to guide you deeper into the forest. You follow him, and he turns his head every dozen steps or so to ensure you remain close behind him. The nocturnal inhabitants of the forest have awakened. You pass by the hollow of a tree and hear the soft trill of baby raccoons that are nestled within. As you watch their mother carry food into the hollow, they become silent. Tree frogs sing out high-pitched cries that invoke summer memories when joined by the melody of chirping crickets. The fox leads you deeper and deeper down an unmarked path that is lined with tiny twigs and fallen pine needles. The air smells even more pure and clean with the drop of temperature that accompanies nightfall. A soft mist hovers over the forest like floating gossamer. Moonlight reflects off the wide underside of the fox's bushy tail, and you follow it through the darkness. You're absorbed in the moment, surrendering to the unknown and trusting the journey. You simply flow. The dark woods open into a small clearing, and the oldest tree in the forest stands center stage. Its reddish-brown trunk is wide and round. Its thick roots branch out like the tentacles of an octopus, reaching beneath the fuzzy mint-green moss that surrounds the forest floor. The fox pauses and looks at you with a playful gaze. Fireflies swarm into the clearing, dancing through the night with pulses of neon yellow light that transmits messages of peace. The melodic hoot of an owl enhances an orchestra of tree frogs and crickets as you venture deeper into the clearing. You spot the owl in the hollow of an elm tree, concealed behind the lush green leaves. The fox looks at you one last time before dashing off into the night and leaving you here where you belong. This part of the forest offers the most diversity of trees. You're drawn to a white birch tree and run your hands across the bark that peels off like sheets of white paper. It takes on a pearly sheen from the surrounding mist and moonbeams. The tree is strong and vibrant, while the bark is delicate and soft. Nature has given the white birch tree permission to be a balance of these contrasting aspects. Just as nature has permitted you to embrace the contrasting aspects that are found within you. More fireflies appear, and they reveal healing messages that are spelled out with their glowing bodies. The power of your imagination is enlivened, and you begin to make out the blinking words. As if drawn by hand, the first message reveals that you deserve rest. You notice how tired you feel, resplendent with sleepiness that comes at the end of a day well spent. The fireflies continue to illuminate the dark forest like blinking holiday lights. And they reveal the following message. It says, "Imagine, and it will appear." You have a passing thought about how nice it would be to find a peaceful place to sleep. Just then, a canopy bed appears before the ancient tree. Sheer white linens hang from the top of the canopy and cascade down onto the forest floor. You walk towards the bed, and the fireflies flutter around as if inviting you to enjoy your respite. The ancient tree inspires wisdom, and you feel safe beneath it, knowing it has thrived for centuries. You feel safe and full of trust. You hoist yourself up onto the downy mattress. You lay down and sink into the pillows that contour your neck perfectly. Through the sheer canopy and lush branches, you can see the stars and moon. Translucent gray clouds slither across the sky and in front of the moon. And you begin to surrender to stillness and deep resounding peace. You recognize how much more relaxed your body has become since this journey began. You feel content and very tired. And while you nestle into the bed, the rabbits of the forest are also resting in their underground burrows. The birds of the forest are scattered high atop the trees in their beloved nests. The family of deer has retreated to their den. And one by one, the fireflies disperse into the dark forest. you begin to fall into a healing sleep among woodland creatures tucked into hollows and dens in the deep forest who now slumbers. Waves of sleep cascade over you with the gentleness of the stream that led you deep into this magical forest. Your body is in a state of total surrender, and you simply flow. From head to toe, your body feels heavy. Heavy and tired. Heavy and relaxed. In the stillness of the deep forest, you go into the stillness deep within you. You let go of the day and let go of consciousness as you simply flow towards the deep, healing sleep that will carry you through the night. Should you awaken, you will find it easy to fall right back to sleep. And no matter the hours spent asleep, you will have more than enough slumber to awaken in the morning rested and revitalized. This brings us to the end of our practice. May you sleep peacefully through the night and simply flow. Good night and sweet dreams.